现在我们说关于那个申请大学的问题，所以我已经准备了一些问题，可是如果观众有一些问题，你们可以举手，然后我会把麦克风给你。So the first question is, what extracurricular do you think was the largest part of your college application? Hard questions.
Who wants to answer the question?
I was really interested in debate. I do social studies at Harvard, but a lot of it is, with political science, international relations, and I feel like something that prepared me a lot in high school was doing all sorts of debate. It was like Model UN, a lot of different debating clubs I started in my school, and it was a really great way to, hone my writing, hone my rhetoric, as well as just general logic and argumentation. And it was just a lot of fun. I met cool people, went on cool trips, and at Harvard, I also ended up joining the debate team, and so it was a good community to continue being a part of.
Next question. What time do you think students should begin preparing for the college application process, and how did you balance other responsibilities when working on applications?
So it's a little bit tough because, for the college applications, they ask you about stuff starting freshman year of high school. So you might be inclined to try and do things very specific to a college, but I thought that my biggest positive traits were going to be related to the math and science that I do. But at all these top universities, there's people that really kill it, and it ended up being singing. I learned this form of Indian classical singing, and that ended up being what it is. So as long as you just pursue excellence in whatever it is you're doing, Harvard will take note. It doesn't have to be in the discipline that you intend to concentrate in. There's a lot of people that do a lot of changes at Harvard. You don't even have to declare your final concentration. So just focus on what you are good at, what you love right now, and that'll pay off in the long run.
Yeah, and on a related note, both of this question and the previous question, I think there doesn't necessarily have to be one extracurricular that you think is deeply impactful, but it could be a number of them. So, for example, I was a captain of swimming and also of a leader in my choir and various other things, of which, we wouldn't say are international math Olympiads, but are things that I deeply cared about and I pursued to a great degree of excellence. And I think a culmination of these things were what helped me in my college application process. So there's also a multitude approach if that's what you're thinking about. But yeah.
I would also suggest that, not to give a specific timeline, but definitely the first couple years of high school is meant for exploratory learning. So just I encourage you all to just explore what you're interested in and try to find the things that you like to do, rather than sort of locking yourself into one path starting freshman year. That's a big thing that I think colleges look for, is people who genuinely explore the things they love and have a genuine excitement about it. So.
Thank you so much. So were there any resources that you found to be particularly helpful for the college application process?
Yeah, honestly, I'd say having multiple people, multiple perspectives to read your essays is really helpful. So I had my parents read it, my siblings read my essays, and sometimes something that you think you portrayed very clearly in your essays actually doesn't make that much sense. And so it's good to get someone else to read it, whether friends, family, whatever. Not necessarily so that they can tell you what you did right and wrong, but so that they can make sure that you are getting the point that you want to get across. So that would be my recommendation.
One resource I also think people don't lean on enough are the coaches and teachers that you have done all of your activities with, right? If you think about it, you're writing an activity section in your Common App, and it's full of things that you think you can describe in an efficient and elegant way. But your coaches and your teachers and whoever's actually doing those activities with you might be able to help you frame those better and make them maybe more impressive for a school, or really capture what you've done with whatever group that you've been in. So I would say talking to people that places like this or around that you've done activities with and would be able to give you a more holistic or deep description of your activities. I think that's a section that people overlook, but is an important thing to take note and time to write.
Just a reminder, if the audience has questions, you guys can raise your hand. Okay.
So do you know that trend where it's raise your ya?
Yeah, so some of us are aware, yeah.
Can you raise your ya?
I don't know how. Someone know how?
You know how? Raise your ya.
So actually I have two
questions, right? The first question is, what do you think is the most challenging thing for your college life? Second question is, if you could go back to your high school, what technique or qualification you think you can pick, again, to help you more for your college life? Thank you.
Yeah, I think currently college life is very different from not college life in that it's a little less structured. Class time, like at least like time physically in classes will be less, but you'll have to spend more time outside of class, like studying and doing all that. So make sure that you are diligent and not procrastinating all the time. I think shameless plug. Me personally, Wushu set me up for life. I think looking back on it, a lot of the things that I currently do are stemming back from Wushu, whether it's like performativity or having like endurance or patience, or like I do a little dancey dance now that set me up, flexibility, like literally everything, and connecting me with me personally, my Chinese culture as well. I did not speak good Chinese, evidently not good English either right now, but I did not speak Chinese very well before doing Wushu, and it's helped me a lot, so do Wushu, guys.
I will say for extracurriculars in high school, I definitely did not regret sort of immersing myself in the arts. I did instrumental and choral and a lot of different other art offerings at my school. I find that sort of involving yourself in the arts brings a little bit of sharpness and acuity that applies outside of the scope of arts, right? Like I find I can apply what I've learned in singing with these guys or singing in high school to, you know, my math work or my geology work at school. So it pervades through all of your facets of life, and you put your heart and soul into art.
All right, I got an easy one for you guys. How long have you all been singing? And how do you guys maintain your vocals like during these cold weather months?
Yeah, so we actually have a range of singers in the group, and so, for example, I've been singing a lot of my life chorally and just like for fun, but I mean, for example, some people had more of an instrumental background and choir was never like a huge thing in their life, but then they decided to join the Crocs, and now it is a huge part of their life. So we rehearse a lot to make sure that everyone's up to speed on our music, and we have different levels of sight reading and all that, but everyone here is a fantastic musician in their own facet, so yeah. That's what I'd say for that one. And for the cold weather, we stay warm, or try our best to. I tell them to be responsible. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. But yeah, we just do our best to take care of that. So.
I've been doing electrolytes recently, like drinking electrolytes. I'd say that genuinely is very, like I didn't do that before, just like when I joined the Crocs. But since I did it, I feel like my voice has a lot more longevity when I sing because I don't feel like it's getting so brittle because I'm not hydrated enough. So sometimes people think you gotta pound water. I don't think so. I think it's water and electrolytes. That'd be my tip there.
I'm probably the only reporter in the group, so I can hardly stay silent. Your performance really vibrant and impressive. My suggestion, if you can incorporate more Chinese songs into your performance, that would be a boom. My question is, since you have such an international group, globally present here, do you have any plan to go international? Probably, have a tour over China?
Yes, actually, fun fact, we do also do a summer tour that takes us all over the globe. My freshman year went to over 20 countries, but it tends to be between 15 and 20 over the summer. We typically go to China, as well as various other countries throughout East and Southeast Asia. So we get a lot of exposure. We learn songs specifically for those countries and languages there as well. So we will likely be learning some more Chinese songs, and hopefully you can see those online, or if you find us in China. So all that information will be online if you are so inclined to join us. So yes.
Hi, I'm a singer from Seattle High School, so hi. So you guys are like really good and so inspiring, but I have a technique. So how do you vibrato and falsetto? Because I've been trying to and it's not really smooth.
Yeah, singing is it's definitely a muscle. Just like not even like metaphorically speaking, but like logistically speaking, it's literally a muscle in like, this whole area. And so the only advice I can give you is like practice. You kind of have to like throw shots at it at first, but like if you know how to do it, even if it's not that well, if you just keep doing it, you'll get better. And then like if you're in like a local group or like multiple local groups, so you'll just get that practice naturally. And so I would highly recommend it. So as a high school person, CP.
I'm still figuring this out as well, vibrato and falsetto myself. I will find that being very aware of your air comes first when it comes to singing. If you're thinking about your breathing, then everything else will follow. I also think it's very helpful to voice record yourself and listen to yourself afterwards. And sort of try like different vowels and different voices. You hear a lot of singers on the radio singing, you know, different inflections. Try to see what it's like to sing similarly to your favorite artist and see how that goes.
I will say that specifically for falsetto, like depending on how old you are, sometimes as a guy, like your falsetto just goes away for a couple years while you're going through puberty, and so that might be one of the reasons, and then it naturally comes back. But I will say, my biggest tip is to just sing in the shower, because in the shower no one can judge you, and you can try whatever you want, and like that's the best way to practice, and you'll discover things about your voice that you've never had before. That's great.